Hello, welcome back once again to my channel. My life is in a lot of, you know, changes. I went through the hardest period of my life on the last 2 years, and now things are getting better. I believe more peaceful. Yeah, that's the room I built for myself. Is still a little bit messy, but did my work. Um, but much better mentally and I start to have a foundation that I like, and mainly a place to work, uh, having more clarity on the things that I want to work on, the things I have to do to achieve a certain goal, um, and what do I want to do in my free time, meaning my hobbies, what skills I want to develop. So I still am trying to develop my football skills, um, and at the same time I'm trying to organize finally the last pieces of my life. I have a lot of journals over there. I don't know if you can see them right there. There's only journals. And what I want to do is I want to write them write them down again in clear notebooks and organize them a little bit better. Then I also want to buy a Kindle because I want to reduce my physical things that I have around the world. I want to be a man that's free of possessions, materialistic things. I want to have my digital world, my my pictures, my digital art, even my physical art, my football skills, everything. I want to have the less things that I need as possible, less things as possible. I think that's what's gonna get me into a successful position in life, is to be as well as organized as possible and at the same time having as little as possible. I already have a lot of things. I already have football. I already have YouTube. I already have a Portuguese brand that I'm building on Instagram and Discord. So I already have enough to worry about, and I want to make everything as easier as possible. YouTube has been maybe the the weakest things of them all. I'm rarely uploading, and I'm not giving any attention towards YouTube right now because my life is demanding me to some other projects, some other talents that I have. It's things that I'm now more concerned about, and YouTube is getting a little bit left behind, but especially when my phone is not that good. I have my iPhone, but it's broken. It ain't working, and I'm working with a Samsung, and I don't know. I need more memory. I need more SSD cards, and I need more a faster computer. So to get involved into YouTube again, I'm going to need Premiere, this and that. Maybe later in my journey, later on in my journey, maybe later on my masculine journey, on my financial journey, my financial independence journey. I will get there. I believe won't be super hard. I think. We'll see the next couple of days, the next couple of weeks, the next couple of months. I'm a better man. I know more things now. Especially, I know even more about the spiritual world too. Not that I know more, but I am more aware of that world. I'm more aware of that path that we have, and I don't know yet, but I don't believe we have much free will. Maybe we do, maybe we don't. I don't know. I don't believe we do. I believe that we are that God is teaching us lessons, that we need to achieve certain things that we already know we're going to do them. Uh, not not that specific, not that we know, but someone knows that we are going follow that path. I do believe that because even though it's still young thoughts and young processes and young theories on my mind, I I can say that there's a lot of coincidences of the things that happened to my to me in the last few weeks and months. I'm still a little bit lonely, and I wish I had more people to speak about my journey. But at the same time, I've realized that it's better to be alone as a as a man or as an individual, as a woman as well. It's better to be alone than to be surrounded by not so good people. I don't know if that makes any sense, but when I was young, I had a lot of. Hamza speaks a lot about this as well. I had a lot of lack of self love. I didn't love myself. I didn't like myself. It was kind of the opposite. I used to hate myself, and I allowed that. You know, because I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I thought it was a normal thing to do to just hate yourself, and I did hated myself a lot when I was 13, 14, 15, and like I didn't have that father figure around to teach me these things and to explain me this process that I'm going through in my life. So and the person that already loves themselves, I didn't have that role model close to me. I think that maybe one or two individuals, maybe one or two, that's it. Like a teacher that I had, maybe it was cool, but I don't know to what extent does he, but that I don't really care about that. But yeah, it took me time. I had to go through a lot of meditation, a lot of journaling, uh, a lot of anger. I had to go through to process a lot of emotions over the last 5 years to actually get to the place where I believe that I like myself. Sometimes I still make mistakes and I still make decisions that I don't think are the best, but I'm not too harsh on myself right now. And it's life overall is not easy. You you have to have goals, and there's injustice, there's justice, but there's also injustice, and there's good and there's also evil. You always in this fight of good and evil. You don't know if you think someone else is doing evil, but you don't really know. You can't really comprehend what's going on because it's the world is much more complex than you think. And we used to, especially at a young age, we're not so much aware of the matrix and this creation that we all live in. But as you get old, if you're awake and if you realize that things are not the way they taught you in school, and maybe there's something else in the world, maybe there is some path that we have to go through, and we don't have much of a free will. I believe in that. Maybe there's studies who will show you the opposite thing, but I don't believe we have much free will, because even that gut, that intuition, that desires we have, someone gave it to us. I don't think that it's we chose that, we chose them. I don't think that I chose the preferences of the things that I have. I don't think that, but in the end, it's life. I don't know yet if I'm the chosen, if I'm one of the chosen guys. I don't know. I'm not sure yet. I believe I am because of the everything that I heard on the tarots. I started watching tarots and I never did it before. It's maybe 24, 23, 24 when I started, and most of the things they said I could relate to my life. I was in a period of my life that I restarted my life. My life had a path that I finished university, I tried a job, I tried another one, and I had a car, this and that, and I sold my car. I came back to my mom's house. I built this spot, and I'm almost at the start of my life again. I gave myself a new beginning to start again. And I heard a lot of tarot speaking to people that, if you are one of those that start your life again, and I'm like, yeah, I did that. I restarted my life. Um, there is a possibility that you will accomplish a dream. And then I asked myself, yes, I wrote that down. I wrote down that I wanted to become a footballer. I had that on my wall. I had the plan, the 10 year, the 5 year, the 1 year plan of MJ DeMarco, and I was like, all right, maybe this is for me. Maybe this is for me. Makes total sense, but I still don't know. I'm still not sure because it was almost a year ago. It was almost a year ago, and I'm still not there yet. So uh, maybe maybe I can do that. Maybe I can do it. Maybe I won't be me. I don't know. My goal right now is not to focus too much on that, that big picture. My goal is to go every day a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit more organized, a little bit more mentally focused, a little bit better mentally, a little bit stronger, a little bit systems, a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. Uh, and yeah, that's what I did. I built that, that I didn't build it. It was, it was left uh, in the end of the road, and I thought that, you know, that would suit well there, and it does. It suits perfectly there for my clothes and for my things. So yeah, this isn't the perfect place, but I love it. You know what I mean? I personalize everything. I put some things there. My work is here. I'm starting to work there, deep work, morning routines. I'm starting to build everything again by myself, but I'm alone, and it's tough. It's tough because I'm not perfect with my sleep. My sleep is not perfect. I like to drink coffee after my lunch. I don't think this is a good habit to have. To be honest, I think it does change a little bit my sleep patterns, but that's something I also want to live by. I don't want to be perfect. Uh, I don't want. I would like to be perfect, but that's not what I want. I want to do the best I can, but don't be too harsh on myself because I know I am too harsh on myself. But I don't want to do that. I want to be disciplined. Yes, as much as I can, but mainly I want to focus on doing what I have to do. In what God wants me to do because I'm not perfect. I'm a sinner. I have lust. I have um, I haven't been with too many women. I believe, and I don't want to be with too many women. I would like to be with women I admire, women I like. One girlfriend maybe, make them my wife. And sincerely, once you're aware, once you're awake, once once you stop caring about, I'm speaking about my experience. I'm not saying that I am awake, but I believe that I am. So obviously, I can make mistakes even in my speech, but that's a consequence of of trying to speak what I believe to be true, to be the right things. So once you're awake, you don't really want to mess up with the average individual because they have shadow, they have secrets, they have they value the public opinion, they value things that I don't value, that maybe the people who are aware and awake don't value. Maybe you value the truth, maybe you value the honesty, maybe you value justice. um, that's the path of God, I believe. I was I wasn't aware, but I wasn't also doing a lot of evil. I My life was very straightforward. The decisions that I made were very pushed on me. to make them. I was not in control of my own life. I was, but I wasn't because I was young, and people. I was easily influenced to make some decisions. You're 16, 17, 18. You don't really know. I mean, I didn't know, and I wasn't paying yet. I had still pain of my, my young years, so I didn't know what to do with my life. I didn't have that courage, that bravery to say, I want to do this, I want to do that. Like big things, I didn't have that belief on myself, and not only that, I just, I wanted to. I wanted to spend some time with my father. I wanted to have a place for myself. I wanted to play Counter Strike. I wanted to do different things, but certainly I didn't want it to develop as a man when I was young. That thought didn't occur in my mind. Like I'm going to do things to develop my character in the real world. I never thought about that when I was young. So I did start thinking about that like when I was 20. When I finished my university, I thought, all right, now I want to have more experience. I haven't slept with almost any woman. I had just one girlfriend. I don't know much about women. I don't know anything about money. I am a small man, and I was 20. I knew a little bit how to play some games. I knew I had a little bit knowledge about Counter Strike. I had a little bit knowledge about um, football, futsal, very little. And but I didn't have that belief for myself like I do now because of multiple reasons. I fixed almost all of the barriers and all of the problems that I had mentally. All those blocks. I was able to sell my car. That was one of the most difficult tasks I've ever done in my life. To a stranger to give me 2,000 euros was extremely difficult to do that. And I had no car, I had no gas, I had no food, I had no place to sleep, I had nothing. It was just an extremely difficult task to do. But I did it, but it was painful. It was very painful because I was going through a lot of karma of having to ask for the money for the car, and now selling the car, people were upset, but I did what I believe was the right thing, so I could free myself from that mistake because it was a mistake. When you're buying, when you're young, if you come from families who are not very financially educated, you will make the same mistakes that for them it looks right, but it is a mistake. Um, that's why it's important that you are awake, because if any successful businessman is awake, it's impossible. You need to know almost everything that goes around on your business. You need to be extremely aware. You need to be very, very, very aware of what's happening. I don't know, and I believe that I'm not yet there, but I believe that sooner or later I will become very, very aware. I'm proud of myself. I regret some things. I regret losing some phones that I have, some cell phones that I used to have when I was 18, 19, 16, 17. I lost almost all of them. I only have the same phones after maybe 20 years, 21, I believe. Let me check that out. Since when do I have this phone? Yeah, but I think this was when I was 20. Yeah, 21. So this is the only phone I have when I was 21. I'm 24 now. All the others that I had when I was younger, I lost them all. I either lost them on trips, I lost them on. I got stolen. I lost almost all of my phones. And that's something that I deeply regret, and I hope I can pass that on to my children, to my if I have children, to keep their memories since they are very young, because you will build so much. If I was 20 years old and I had all the memories since I was 13, 14, all of them organized, but that also comes with the family that I grew in. My, like, as much as I love them, they were not very organized. Um, and your environment does dictate who you are. I tried to be as organized, but I also had the immaturity, not thinking um, that your brain isn't thinking about your future and your even the school system, the people making fun of you. In a lot of times, the public opinion, you have to be mentally very strong to fight that, to build yourself, build your individuality in the society. It's very tough. It takes a lot of courage and bravery because you will be criticized when you have a different opinion than the public, or when you're acting in a different way than you're supposed to do. Society is telling you to do something you don't want to do, so they will fight. They will fight you. They won't support you. But I'm proud of myself. It was 40 years, 3, 4 years now, and I hope I can keep doing this. I hope I can keep doing. I hope I can keep taking this until the day I die. Uh, Not only the pictures, the not only that, but the memories. I do have memories when I was young, but I just don't have them all. I don't have them all. I had a lot of phones that I lost. I wanted to have them back, but you know, I was very immature. I was very immature. It took me a lot of work to grow up. It took me a lot of work to grow up, and I'm proud that I did. I wanted to grow up earlier in my life. I wanted to be like 18 and be the man I am right now. But that's all right. It's according to the places that I came. I had a lot of mental prisons. I was living inside of my house. Didn't have any. In here, I can actually be me. I can express myself. I don't have people judging me. I don't have anyone stealing my time, my mental effort, my. I have peace. I can be whoever I want to be, and I can explore things that I might have curiosity exploring. Different. And when you're young, if you live in if your family is not successful or mentally stable, it's not. I don't know. There will be blocks, and I don't judge my father, but I think he he also has a lot of mental blocks. He also has his family judgments and this and that, and I can't judge him. I can't blame him for that. So it's my past, and I'm proud and I'm grateful for the things that I've lived. I still have a lot of memories. I still have a lot of pictures. I don't have them all, but I have some, and I'm grateful for that. Um, the next maybe year and a half of my life, like I said, like I told you, I'm going to organize my journals. I want to put them less journals. Maybe one day I will pass them onto a digital document. Then I have to organize again my SSDs, my data of my pictures of my life. I don't have many, maybe 3,000, maybe 4,000, maybe 5,000, but of the whole life, that's not too much. It's not too much. I have pictures, I have some videos, but I could have had a lot more chats, a lot more stories, a lot more things that I lived that unfortunately I end up either deleting or losing my cell phone. I'm a little bit sad about that, but nowadays I don't do that. I believe I'm more I I take more ownership about the things that happened around, and I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of myself. I know it's a very complicated world. I suffered so much. I suffered a lot physically and mentally. The last 3 years, 4 years, it was so tough, and was really tough. And this life is extremely tough. Any one of you, I get into self improvement, make money, save yourself, because You know, if you I don't know your life path. I don't know your purpose in life. I don't know your mission, what you're meant to do. I believe I know mine a little bit now, but there's still a long way for me to go. And yeah, I don't want to suffer anymore. I want to have good friends. That's something that I don't believe I've ever had, like a genuine friend. I had good friends, but um, yeah, there was always that level of competition, I believe, between us, like in sports. You know, yeah, like a really good friend. I don't believe that, but it's also part of the life. I don't think any man has a really good friend. I don't know. You have interests, you have goals, you have utility. That's it. Then you're nothing again. Once they're gone, that's it. Maybe a woman will make me better. Maybe a woman will make me want to fight. But even that, for me to have a woman and trust 100%, has to be a spectacular woman. It can't be just a normal woman. Uh, and I don't mean spectacular, extremely pretty. I don't mean that, but with a good heart, good personality, and a good person, a family person. We'll see. I had a good girlfriends when I was young. It just, I never felt fulfilled because I didn't love myself. That's the truth. And I had to go through karmic cycles, I believe. I don't know. I feel good over the last 3 years, 4 years. I tried my best to do what was correct. Sometimes I failed, but I think that people understood that I was in real difficulties and real pain. I really did suffer a lot the last 3 years, 4 years, but I'm better now, and I think I'm more focused also. Yeah, my goal is and will be to unify things, get myself maybe a laptop, maybe an iPhone too, and start to unify my life. It's like I told you, I'm a better man. I'm a better man, and when you become a better man, you also increase your skills, your wisdom, your financial life. I believe I will be very successful financially now because now I have a completely different approach of life than I used to have. All those things that society teaches you. There's if you're born poor, a poor person, you have two choices. You either let society always tell you how you do things when you're studying, what you're going to study, um, what you're going to dress, what you're going to drive, if you're going to drive. You either allow society to tell you everything you're going to do, or you do everything you you try to experiment different things. You try to do things your own way, and it also depends on your families. It depends a lot on your families. My family, I didn't have like a father figure around me. I was mainly raised by women, so that was also not very good for me at a young age. And I allow them, and that's a mistake young men also do. If you allow the woman around you, your mother, your uncle, your your grandma, let's say for example, if you allow them to control you emotionally, uh, you will always end up in resentment and regrets, and in you have to take ownership and control of your life. Like, this is what I want to do, this is what I will do. um, because if you don't do that and you just keep living, I did that when I was 20, 21, 22. I was like, I was tired of my car. Like, I knew the car was the impediment of me getting myself to the position I am, being the man that I am, and living the way I live, because I'm living here with my family house. I don't have that much expenses. My grandma is feeding me, so even though it hurts a little bit my teeth and I have to pay a little bit of debt that I have, like 600 euros, it isn't that big of a problem. When I had the car, I had to pay for the car, for the gas, for the it was a big mistake. I didn't want to make that mistake. I didn't want to just buy a car. Uh, I didn't think about that. It wasn't something that I put my thoughts into. I just, they wanted to offer me, and I was like, all right, cool. My friends have a car. I just finished. All of my friends' family, they also bought a car for them, and they're not very rich families, just normal families, but they got a car, and I didn't really. I was still not in love with myself, so uh, I wasn't in control of my life. And one of the things that any successful person does is they take ownership and they take control of their life. If you get old and you're never actually doing something that you want to do, if you're never actually putting yourself first, even if your family hates you, even if your friends hate you, you have to do what you want to do, what you believe is the right thing for yourself. Because um, you will get old, you will age, and if you lived only of the approval for the approval of other people, and so that they don't hate you, you won't ever do anything that is worth doing. I'm very proud of myself. I started living my life around 21, 22. I should have done it earlier, but I don't think it was meant for me, because I look at every options that my life could have taken, and I didn't have that courage, that bravery, the capacity to even to build this place for myself. I didn't know how to deal with money. I didn't know how to, because my mom, she always had financial problems. My entire family almost, and they had a lot of trauma that they don't are aware of. They don't want to even heal it. You have to, all the things that you avoid, you have to take control of them. You have to face them. Those fears, those mistakes, those this and that. You have to take ownership of them and understand, okay, why that happened, and how can I make it better next time. That's the only way you can go through life. But I don't judge my mother as well, because she also had a lot of traumatic events. And not only that, is if you grow up and you allow that to stay always in your mind, like the things that people, I don't know, they judge about you, about your family. Let's say your father is a alcoholic. If you grow up and you're always allowing people to be on you, yeah, your father is a alcoholic. It's not good. It's not good for anyone. You can't be healthy that way. You have to get to a point where you're like, all right, goodbye. All right, cool, bye bye, next. And so you can live it. You can live life yourself. So I don't live with my father. I don't live with any brothers, any sisters. It's just me. My mother lives around. My family also lives close to me. My other family, my grandma's also, they will live close. But yeah, for sure, if I had to choose again, I would love to have a family, a bigger family. I grew up alone, most of the time alone. Not really not much friends at all. Just the football friends that I had, and my school friends. They were cool, some of them. Uh, But yeah, I'm also grateful for the things that I lived, all the struggles that I had to go through. They were they were very nice for me to be the man I am right now. I don't think I would be so brave if I hadn't gone through those things that I did. Uh, and Yeah, I don't know if this is actually the path that God has for me and is football that I will play. I hope it's the next weeks, next days, weeks, because I need money. Not that I need, but I want some money. I can free myself, and I can start to live prosperity, prosperity in a prosperity way. I always wanted to go. Yeah, I do. I'm a little bit embarrassed now to when I say things, and but yeah, it was how my life ended up going, and I can't blame anyone. Uh, we'll see. We'll see the next days, the next months, the next years of my life. I hope I made a lot of progress over the last months that I was here. I was able to buy my scooter on a loan, but yeah, I'm proud of myself. I'm very proud of myself. It was a lot of work. I still have to fix some things. This bed, I need to buy a better one. I need to put market products on the market. That's what I'm trying to do with my Portuguese business. I'm trying to build a Discord server, Discord community, and hopefully maybe in the future even here on YouTube. And I have even in football, everything in the world. I have a completely different look now, and I have a much more belief on myself. Because I don't believe that most people. It all goes down to that. I believe it's with self love and self belief, because but you gain it with time. I had a lot of doubts about my capacity to be useful to society. I never thought myself as capable of understanding the systems of the society, understanding football, understanding politics. I never thought myself as a man who would understand it. And I'm 24, and I do understand it a little bit better than I did at 2021. And I'm very proud of myself, even though I have a lot of work to do. I'm very proud of myself because of that. Hopefully, the next video, I have already made my first sale online, um, because now I believe that almost everything is taking me there. I'm very proud. Look at that. My shoes, my ball, my guitar. So I have a lot of work. Yeah, I have a lot of things to improve, but maybe I can start to live again. Because for me, this is a rebirth. Yeah, I think rebirth is the right word. So I can put that way, because I never actually lived when I was young. I lived, but I didn't live. Um, I was very. I hated myself, to be honest. I didn't like myself at all. I was like, all right, no one wants to be my friend. It's my fault. I'm a stupid piece of shit. I thought I had a lot of those thoughts, but I also had a lot of shit friends. I also had a lot of toxic friends and shit friends. Once you heal and you start to doing a lot of self improvement, you realize what a real good friend is. What a real good friend is, and someone who doesn't have much friends, they will be really good for you if they're your friend. They will actually care about you. They will. I don't mean that they will be annoying, but they actually genuinely care. I had a friend at my university, uh, but it was the same thing. It wasn't my genuine friend. It was just trying to help me get on with university in the beginning. Then he stopped helping me. Then there were some betrayals here and there. but he was always trying to help me. But I don't think it was genuine. It was not genuine. It was um, doing it just for the sake of doing it, and it's better not to. If you're helping someone on a fake way, it's better not to. It's better to be genuine person and be honest and transparent. Like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to help you, but that's all right. I used to like him when I was young. Um, I liked him a lot, but he had a lot of power over me, like authority, because he was older than me, one year older, and every time you have an authority over someone, be careful with that, because at some point they will turn against you, and it's always better to to be there for them if they need you, and if they don't need you, you just allow them to live, because even with that friend, it came to a point where I didn't need him anymore, and he was always trying to get like, "What are you doing? What are you doing with your life? Why are you doing that? Why are you choosing that?" And I was like, "All right, that's not." I was a point I had to tell him, "That's not up to you. It's my life. It's my decisions." And he had so much power and control over me, so much energy, that I allowed that to happen. I used to admire him in the early time of university, but that was always the same. It was always the same problem. I lacked a lot of self love, and I didn't love myself at all. So it takes a lot of work, a lot of meditation, a lot of journaling, a lot of even creating boundaries with people around you, um, and looking for healthy people. It's tough. Healthy, good people, like not the fake people, fake good people, the politically correctness, but the real people, the real who's gonna tell you the real things in your. I met a guy I like. Is a real guy. I had more people that liked me than I thought. So, but usually the people who like you, they don't tell you that. No one's gonna come closer to you. Hey, man, I like you. It's much easier to get hate. And I did get a lot of hate these last 2 years as well. But that's all right. It's life. I love myself. I hope you guys love yourselves as well. Um, if you don't, you know, make good habits. Start to journal. Start to maybe start your business. Start making money in different ways than work, like than going to a job. Uh, Read, educate yourself, experiment new things, get away from the societal judgments, get away from the societal expectations. I believe that, because if you do that, if you get away from the society and you walk your own path, you're always free to fail. You can always fail. You can always make your mistakes. You don't need anyone's approval anymore. Yeah, that's what I started living. I wish I had that when I was younger. Not only the bravery, but also the knowledge to know that. Because when I was young, I didn't know I could be myself only for myself. I also had those limitations, because you need your family to feed you. You need your people to. You can't have. You believe that. You believe those things. You can't have a business. You believe you can't make money. I had those beliefs. They were extremely wrong. But I grew up, and it's alright. I won't blame myself anymore. I'm proud of the man I am. I'm proud of myself. I have a lot of work to do still. I have a lot, of course, till the day I die. Uh, but I'm happy with myself. Um, every day I'm a little bit better. Every day I'm a little bit better. Every day a little bit better. I did that since I was 21, 22, and I hope that I can do it until the day I die. Uh, I wish I started younger, but it's like I told you. That doesn't work like that. You have to you have to distance yourself from everybody. You have to distance yourself from everybody to learn to love yourself, to learn what it's like to be a healthy person, to what it's like to be genuinely healthy, genuinely good. Uh, it takes time, it takes bravery, but it's possible. It's possible to do it. I believe. I believe anyone can also do it. Um, I even understand better the politics. I understand the public relate international relationships. I start to understand almost everything. I don't know it all. I don't know everything. I don't know the answers of for the world. Also, absolutely not. But I understand better. I understand why the United States do what they do. I understand why this happening. This is happening. Why this is happening. Um, I understand better the systems. I understand better the behaviors of the people. I understand better everything that I didn't when I was young. But I still have a lot of work to do, and I don't have yet the life that I want to. I don't know. I think I will have it. I don't need much. Like I told you, at this point of my life, I love this place, but I don't have a bathroom and I don't have a kitchen. And I don't have any of that. I just have this place, anything. I don't have anything else. So I would love to buy like an apartment and maybe have a wife there, but make sure that I'm good myself. I'm alright, and I have my own, like I told you, my own financial security, my own money in life, money, everything in order myself. And then when I am, maybe I can have a woman on the way, but always focused on prioritizing my own security, my own individuality. And if a woman comes, good, but also be aware that I need to prepare myself if she wants to leave as well, or I want to leave. So I have better that individuality as well, as more prepared for that. I believe. We'll see. We'll see. Things are much better. I'm not perfect man, but I made mistakes. I made mistakes. Even when I was working with the global, I made mistakes there too. It was unlucky. It was not luck. I wasn't lucky. I was very unlucky. I own like 5,000 euros to 4,000, 5,000. It was unlucky. But that's alright, because I'm starting again now, and brick by brick, day by day, I have more energy, my more mental clarity. I don't have much people around me, but we'll see what the plan God has for me. So thank you everybody. I love you, and I wish you the best.